Forget it. She's doing it again. She's... Is that... She just does that to make trouble, okay? It's obvious. It's so...
What are you talking
Painfully
about?
obvious. Don't even listen to a word she says. She's just trying to make trouble. It's just... She's such a bitch.
Sean, hi.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Horror Deconstruction with your hosts, Jerry and... No, actually, I'll be Mr. Scottish today. And who are you?
You're Mr. Scottish? Okay, I'm gonna be, Kim Cattrall.
Wait, wasn't it... I'm talking about characters in the movie, Mr. and Mrs. Scottish, right? Anyway.
What the fuck are their names, actually? The movie was so bad, I didn't even bother to note it.
What is today's film?
Oh, God, the Texas... Oh, well, there's two names, but I know it as Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Also known as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. And you're listening to the Horror Deconstruction, which you can find at horrordeconstruction.tumblr.com, YouTube.com.
Oh, wait, yeah, they can't see my smile, actually. I'm thinking they could see my smile.
YouTube.com/Horror Deconstruction. It's pretty funny. We should explain that we might sound rusty this episode because we haven't done a new episode within a month, but we fooled you guys, right?
Right, yeah, we fooled them.
Because Mrs. Scottish over here was somewhere in another country doing stuff.
I was in Mars. Isn't that what we agreed?
Oh yeah, you were in Mars. So it was pretty funny because I would upload episodes while you're having fun, and I had to be here, and you weren't uploading the YouTube channel. So I had to be here like a jerk off doing all this.
Well, I mean, you know, I was having a lot more fun than you.
So, well, granted. So I would be doing this uploading, and then I'd realize we would mention shit that happened like months or after or something. Like I would say something's really good, and then it was bad in the news. Like it was pretty funny because I think I said, hey, you know that guy George Zimmerman? He was a pretty nice guy. Him and Joseph Kony. Joseph Kony, those are two good guys. And then see what happens in the fucking news. Shit. Anyway.
He is a pretty good guy. I mean, you know, I think he doesn't like certain fashion styles. He doesn't like hoodies.
So, NAACP, send your letters to Danny. Okay. So anyway, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, or The Return of the Next...
Let me stop playing this. I'm playing Super Contra, actually, and it's really distracting. Hold on. It's very hard to focus on this.
As you also know, Contra is also the name of the album by the band... Wait, what's the name of that band? Some hipster band, whatever. So anyway, the Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What is your history with this movie?
Well, I've seen the original and I hated it, and now I've seen this and I hate it.
I forgot you did hate the original.
Well, actually,
right?
No. This is actually like way funnier. It's intentionally funny. I hope.
That's one of the theories that some of these people are saying.
I hope it is. I'm putting a sock over my computer.
Oh,
so
you're
you
gonna
can't
say a sock over your cock.
Oh
yeah. I can see Danny, but he can't see me. So I guess
it's a little creepy. I feel like I'm being spied on. No, it's really like just a bad movie. I mean, I was shocked. I've never seen worse dialogue, but I think it's intentional, and so in that case, I like it. But I guess I like it in either case. But I don't know. I'm very confused about it.
So what's the basic premise of this film?
It's, you know, it's the same exact shit. They go and they get lost in the woods, and then they find this crazy family, and they die.
So yeah, apparently...
Actually, I think it's like the predecessor to Martyrs in a way.
You keep telling yourself that. So,
no, seriously. Did you get that feeling at the end?
No, I thought this was the predecessor to me fucking being angry about seeing this movie. It was terrible. Apparently,
Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it.
Oh, great actors. Anyway, it's funny because
I like Renee Zellweger. I actually find her very attractive. Although a lot of people, Family Guy says she looks like an anteater. I don't agree.
She's very hot in this movie. But you know who I keep mixing her up with? Who's that other girl who's in the... Oh God, what's that movie about the bimbo that becomes a lawyer?
Blonde?
Blonde
I know what you're talking about.
That's Madonna, Blonde, Legally Blonde. Whoever that
Legally
broad
Blonde.
is.
I knew the word blonde.
Renee Zellweger. I always mix her up with who's that?
No, she's the one that's in Me, Myself, and Irene, and she's awesome.
Yeah, she has like lemon face. Like she always eats lemons.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, you're right.
So the movie is directed by Kim Henkel, and I swear to God, I'm gonna sound very sexist right now. So I thought
Okay.
Kim Henkel was a woman director, and that's why I was like, this lady didn't see any of the other Texas Chainsaw.
I actually don't
movies.
agree with anything Alex says.
Yeah, he like the stuff what I say when I say African Americans should have equal rights. Danny's like, no, I don't think so. Anyway, so Kim Henkel apparently.
No, I think George Zimmerman's a bad guy.
He is.
They should make a movie about him.
But Danny means bad in a cool way. So
No,
apparently,
he's bad.
he's a dickhead.
No. I dislike them. I strongly
Did you see-
dislike George
I know.
Zimmerman.
Sorry to get off this episode. I'm sure it's gonna be a very timely episode. He opened up a website. As of this date, this is what March. It's April 10th.
Wait, are you talking about George Zimmerman?
Yeah, just for this little note because we can be comedic.
He
But I-
opened up a website?
Yeah, you want to say he opened up the real GeorgeZimmerman.com, and he's asking for donations for his legal funds just in case they arrest him.
no.
And what's funny is that one of the graphics.
The fact that they haven't is just like
It's
I mean,
crazy,
I was
right?
I was in Mars and I'm looking at our news, looking down at the Earth and just
Earth
thinking,
news.
wow, like I'm so glad that I'm not in America right now.
And
Our
one of-
country is so stupid.
One of the graphics that he uses is it says Free George Zimmerman. It's like graffiti on a wall, but the thing is, it was graffiti put on like a African American history building or something. So I guess maybe
Oh my god.
he's such an idiot, that guy. Dummy.
He's really like somebody pointed something out. I think it was Bill Maher that he looks like Cher's transgender.
Oh, Chaz Bono. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it really does though.
I know everybody's gonna like stop listening to this podcast.
I'm on the
'cause
real George Zimmerman right now.
They think it's political. All right, so Kim
No,
Henkel.
we're not being political. We're just
Kim
yeah, we are.
Henkel he actually wrote Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. He wrote, and then they used his characters from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and 3. And he, I guess he wrote this one.
Do I need to have seen those movies to care about this movie? Probably
I
not.
don't know,
Right?
because listen, on a real, my feelings is that I didn't like any of the Texas Chainsaw. I haven't liked any of them.
The first one is like awful. I don't know. I've probably said this actually, but that's the first date that my parents ever went on.
Right,
And
you said that, right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
I
But
think,
other than that, I see no purpose for it.
I think the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie I've ever seen was House of a Thousand Corpses. That's probably the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie out there. Even though that clearly used every
I mean,
scene
yeah,
from the
this
original
totally
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
inspired. Not this one, but the first one totally inspired a movie like that. But that movie took it and made it good. You know.
So let's get into the general premise of this film. The film starts out. They couldn't even afford. This was like a total indie film, right? Like I think they.
Yeah, it was a $600,000 budget.
I think what happened with Texas Chainsaw is that nobody was. This is around 1990, whatever, in the 90s. And the property of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't making any money. Like nobody was looking to make another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so they probably sold the rights cheaply to somebody. You know what I mean?
The fact that they got these two guys in it, Matthew
But
McConaughey,
this is before they were even anybody in.
I know, but then supposedly they didn't even release it. And then when they
they tried to sue to keep it from being released. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did. I remember reading that, like watching that on television a long time ago. Like for some
Why?
reason that stuck
That's
with
the
me.
name of them.
Multiplication tables and how to do subdivisions and stuff like that didn't stay with me, but that piece of news stuck with me as a kid for some reason.
That's pretty lame of them, actually. That makes me lose a little respect.
Did you see the same movie? If I was
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's fucking funny.
I
Who
mean,
cares?
listen, when I say nobody is on their A game, no one is on their A game in this film at all.
I think Matthew McConaughey is pretty cool in it.
Here's the thing. I think with a lot of things with actors is that they like to play the villain because it kind of frees you up,
Yeah.
to kind of act crazy.
I mean, he is
go
pretty
berserk
fucking
and
crazy
ham it
in this
up. Yeah,
movie.
he is kind of crazy, and you can tell. Like, there's some parts where he's acting. The parts where he's acting intimidating, it's pretty bad acting. But then when he's acting crazy, it's pretty funny. Like, it's really good.
Yeah,
Is it-
I mean, it's like
you know
over
what?
the top for sure. And then the Renee Zellweger's a million times better than that other fucking girl.
Yeah, let's get into it. So the film starts out with not even a crawl. It's just like a text at the beginning, right? And
They're like yeah.
Because the original film they had Dan Fielding, the guy from Night Court. He did the voiceover. He did the voiceover, I believe, for part 1, and I believe for the remake that Michael Bay produced. And in this one, the text in this
were there like explosions and stuff in the Michael Bay one? I bet there was.
Yeah, I wanted to explode the whole theater.
He had like a chainsaw that like you press a button and it
you didn't
like
see that movie, right?
We should way out or
the
something.
Movie's horrible. Anyway, so the crawl in this one, or the text in this one, it's so non-committal to what the story. They go for so much with this dialogue and this lying. It makes no sense. Because let me read what it says. It says August 18th, 1973. News of bizarre chainsaw-wielding family. Meanwhile, it was only one guy that had a chainsaw, which were to ignite the world's imagination, began to filter out throughout Texas. I don't know. Am I reading this wrong? Regrettably, not one of the family members was ever apprehended, and for more than 10 years, nothing further was heard. What? Then, over several years, at least 2 minor
incidents.
Yet apparently related incidents were reported. Then again, nothing. For 5 long years, silence. And
no, their name's Sawyer. That's their last name.
Sawyer? Really?
Yeah, I just truly don't give a shit about this series. I don't know, whatever.
Is that in there?
I'm sorry, I'm really like not in it right now. But yeah, no, they make it seem as if this is like so much better than the other movies, and then it's like literally like the worst movie.
It's really bad. It's a horrible movie.
I mean, the dialogue. I wish we could play some clips, but we can't.
We
really,
played one at the beginning of probably the best moment in the film for me. Is the whole film starts out with high school prom when these people come up. It's funny enough, the 2 most interesting characters aren't in the film at all, which is the crazy girl. At the first clip I just played was this crazy random character.
Yeah, what is she saying?
Her delivery is so bizarre.
I mean, it's like
it sounds like
I didn't even know what was happening. I guess that was supposed to be like
it's almost apoplectic. Like I can imagine. I think this film, every scene was done in one take. Like they were like, "Oh, fantastic," and they just moved on to the next.
It was like a girl trying to say that their teacher was a bitch, but the way she's saying it was like you expect it to like go in this whole other direction or something.
It was film school greatness. It was unbelievable how bad that delivery of that line was. Anyway, so it goes at this high school prom. We meet up with Heather, who is not one of the main characters. I guess it's not Renee Zellweger.
No, she is one of the main characters. She's the other girl.
That's what I'm saying. I said it is one of the main characters, but not Renee Zellweger.
You know what? Suck my butt.
Pay attention. Stop playing fucking Super Contra.
No, I'm not playing Super Contra anymore.
He's playing with his genitals. So
I'm playing with my asshole.
Heather is asking for her date, Barry, right? Barry's the guy?
Yeah, she's looking for a stupid asshole boyfriend who's like the worst actor of all time.
And this lady says, he's not there. And then that other girl gives that horrible line delivery that we heard at the beginning of at this episode.
And then basically, I mean, I don't even like, it's really like the worst acting ever or the worst script, probably both.
The other great character was the guy at the parking lot, who I thought was gay and was telling him, "Oh, it's gonna be a great party," and he just then he's talking about girls' breasts in the next scene. No, it's some random guy that's there. So Heather starts looking for a boyfriend, and we see Renee Zellweger, who's she playing?
She's like the girlfriend of that other stupid guy, Sean or something. I think his name.
Sean is just a disposable character. He's like there just to be a body.
Yeah, he literally dies like right away.
Yeah, so Renee Zellweger plays Jenny, and she is dating. Oh, well, not dating, but she's with this guy Sean, who's her date for the prom. And Heather walks out, and she sees. It's funny how this happens because apparently Jenny and Sean have warping powers. Like they can actually warp through time. Because while Heather is looking for her boyfriend, who's making out with, I would say, an uglier girl than Heather is next to a post, she gets angry. Heather runs off into the car. Barry.
And then they're all in the car.
Yeah, and
I remember seeing that and thinking, like, this is strange. How did this happen?
And Jenny and Sean are already in the car, like they're smoking, doing drugs or whatever, because Sean's a pothead. Anyway, fast forward, the car drives, and
they're having this horrible dialogue where the guy's
really
justifying kissing another girl, and like, his girlfriend doesn't even like actually seem to care. It's
This is
so strange.
For all this time, I thought the director was a woman, Kim, because I thought Kim Henkel was a woman, or an Asian man. Oh boy. Anyway, so
what is he?
Because I thought he's just an old white guy.
Okay, that's a little disappointing.
So
if we could somehow combine an old Asian man
watching
and
this, and
a woman.
I was thinking, I was like, wow, this woman doesn't know how to write women characters. Like, this is pretty bad. I was like, I figured if a woman directed this,
male characters,
huh?
Doesn't know how to write male characters.
Yeah, nobody knows how to write any characters in this film. Well, I guess, you know, are we really surprised if this guy wrote the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre or that rambling dialogue?
No.
That fucking guy jumping into the van in the first movie. It was 20 minutes straight.
I saw that movie a long time ago, and all I remember is like an hour of like running through trees, and I just so stupid.
And this film has that in spades. It has a lot of people running because.
But you know what? This film at least has hilarious dialogue to like make it funny.
Does it? I was horrified by how bad this movie was.
You know, it's so bad, but I'm kind of like back and forth on it. It could be the best movie ever made.
Yeah,
or it could be
apparently director Kim Henkel is putting this as he said it's a black comedy, and I don't believe that.
I think it might be.
So this
or maybe that's just the cop-out.
On IMDb it says, intended by director Kim Henkel to be the real sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The characters of Vilmer and W.E. were intended to be the hitchhiker and cook characters from the original film, but I think the actors were told him to go fuck himself. It's funny enough because, you know what I think this might be? I think this is a writer whose material was used for the first film, and he didn't like that Toby Hooper ran off and made 2 and 3, and they didn't use him. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it might be that kind of thing where this is my real sequel for this film. Meanwhile, it's like 20 years after the first one, and they still have he said this is the real sequel, but in the opening dialogue, the opening text, it's admitting.
Well, you know, he probably just was trying to.
It's admitting that the other 2 films happened. So.
He's probably just trying to please the fans that might be offended or something.
If you wanted to please the fans, don't fucking make this movie. It was a piece of shit. Anyway, you
have to admit though, it's pretty funny. But okay,
it's horrible. It's not funny. This movie's bad. And they even do that thing from the first movie. The only thing I liked about the first film was, you know, when they had the photographs of the corpses in the graveyard and shit like that, with the people massacred, and they had that weird sound effect of it sounded like a scratch going on while I was taking photographs.
Okay. And they did his leg noise, right?
You know that part? Yeah, they do that here, but it's for prom photos. So it's kind of like there's a lot of nods to the original film, I guess.
I thought you were. Never mind. I'm getting confused with you. I thought you meant something totally different. There's a part where it has like his leg noise because he has a robot leg.
Yeah, he has a gas pump leg, right? No, I'm talking about. Let me see if I can do it. It was a bunch of. You'll recognize it when you hear it. But it's this sound effect, this classic sound effect from the original film that they, for some reason, used in this kind of strange context of the movie. You can see me rambling because I'm trying to wait for the sound to actually come up in the scene.
Yeah, don't worry. Let's talk about something else. We could always pop it in after. So what happens? So there's this horrible boyfriend, a really, really stupid blonde girl. Then there's Jenny, who's Renee Zellweger, and her boyfriend, who has absolutely no personality. They're driving, a car hits them, blah, blah, blah. They get
speed
lost.
Off because the girl's angry because Barry was cheating on her. Barry's already the coolest character in the movie because he's an asshole.
He is kind of funny.
Because he's the only one that's, that has any attitude, while everybody else is like literally 2D stock kind of... Well, Barry's a stock character himself. But everybody's so poorly written in this movie.
Jenny's okay.
And they have a head-on collision with this other guy, and the guy is...
and then this girl, they separate, of course, because this is what you always do in the woods, is separate. And basically, Sean, the waste of a character, he just waits with the car and...
Yeah, I don't think that this is edited correctly, this movie, because Sean was walking off with Renee Zellweger in that scene, and then the other 2, Barry and Heather, were with him, and then Sean was with the guy who was on the floor. It was really bad. Like, people have really inhuman reactions in this film, because there's a whole scene.
Like, maybe that's about time travel.
I guess so. Maybe that she's an alien. That's why she can't react correctly.
But then, what's the name of the girl that's dating Bill?
What?
You know that's dating Matthew McConaughey?
What are you talking about?
The name of the girl that's dating Vilmer. She's, you know, like the bad girl that acts all nice and pretends to help them and shit.
Oh, the one that shows her breasts in the film?
Yeah.
That was a weird scene, man.
She kind of strangely turns me on because she's so stupid.
Darla, I think her name is in the film.
Okay. She's just so stupid. Like,
I mean, you can't even imagine how bad the reactions are in this film because these people just got into a car accident and the guy's passed out in the street, whatever, and they go in and Heather's like, "Oh, I want to drink a water." They're acting so nonchalant in this film. There's a scene where Jenny is running away from Leatherface. She runs away from Leatherface and she goes into Darla's bungalow and she's like, and Darla looks out, she doesn't see Leatherface, right? And she goes, "He's out there, he has a chainsaw." And I was like, what? She was going crazy the first 5 seconds, you know.
Right. There's a scene where
you can tell they shot that scene 6 hours later because she was just normal.
Has a gun being pointed at him. And, you know, he gets kidnapped and put in a in a room, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I have to use the bathroom anyway."
And he goes and he just takes a leak. And these people don't believe
totally
that.
Nonchalant. Like, you just got a hick pointing a shotgun at you and locking you in a room.
And these people believe that these doors are made out of titanium. Because the guy has a shotgun pointed at Barry, and he just closes the door in front of him, and he stands in front of it. I'd be like, this motherfucker's gonna shoot through the door.
Actually, I thought that that's what they were going for, but then I realized that would be too clever for this movie.
Kim Henkel was like,
"Oh, like you stay in front of the door," and I'm thinking, "Oh, he's totally gonna shoot."
Kim Henkel was playing with us just like funny games. Like he knew that the audience was so smart that he'll go against conventions. You think he was that brilliant that he was?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he was doing.
And the same thing happened with Renee Zellweger. At least when Renee Zellweger, when she ran and the guy actually used a chainsaw on the door. So let's get into how Leatherface is portrayed in this film.
I like him.
Just like me and Dan, I thought he was a screaming wreck, and I wanted him out of the movie.
I don't remember exactly from the original what he's like, but it's not this cool.
I remember seeing the original Texas Coleslaw Manager, and Leatherface in that one, he was just like oink, like a pig. If that's what I remember. I don't know if
it was
right,
like more just like a creepy figure from what I remember.
And he only screamed at the end of the film. That's all I remember is that he was so berserk that the girl got away that he started screaming and doing that little dance at the end.
Yeah.
And
I
don't know. I didn't see part 2. I didn't see part 3. He didn't pull any of that shit in the remakes. Those terrible remakes that I saw. I saw both of them. I can't believe I saw both of them.
But in this, he's just like literally just constantly screaming, like he's like a big crazy baby or something.
I just wondered, did you ever see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3? Because I didn't. I don't know what happened to him in part 3.
I'm telling you, I saw the first one a long time ago. I hated it.
So let's say this is the indirect sequel to part 1. Are we trying to say that 20 years, or was it 15 or so years? 20 years, right? After the original one?
He went crazy.
That he just went even... I mean, he was crazy to begin with. He had a guy's...
Well, you know, dismiss that. Just look at this as a movie of what it is.
And he just regressed into a retarded person. Like, he's like,
it's not even retarded. He's just like...
Well, he's acting retarded.
I don't know
no
what the hell
offense to developmentally disabled people. Just like I am, because you can hear I can't talk
He's
correctly.
being politically correct, man.
Yes.
Just without even thinking of the other movies. Take it out of context. Like, he is kind of a
screaming banshee in this one. He's just a screaming banshee.
It reminds me of Nothing But Trouble, kind of. It's a great movie that Dan Aykroyd's brother, I believe, directed.
That's a good movie.
Or Dan Aykroyd directed it, and his brother wrote it, maybe. I don't know. Chevy Chase is in it. It's good. It's not a horror movie, but it's good.
So, yeah, he's going around, and they pull the same 2 kills from the first movie where they put a girl, they hook Heather up onto a meat hook, and then they hit Barry over the head with a sledgehammer, I assume, which what it was. And it was it's just a fucking bad movie, and they just tried to...
I didn't even notice that they died.
None of the villains had any...
Barry, I totally didn't even catch his death, and I was watching it, you know? Like,
none of the villains have any of the, like, that kind of dirty... Well, they are dirty, but they don't have the feel of the old villains had. You know, like, even if they were annoying and stupid, the old farmer guy was an asshole in the original one, and so was that maniac that was in the van. But this one, we're dealing with Matthew McConaughey, who sort of... He was
pretty cool.
He's pretty entertaining in the film because he's going off the chart as an overactor in the film. And, you know, sometimes I like that in movies where people overact because it's a movie. Yeah. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It wasn't like that dentist one or Dr. Giggles or whatever the hell his name was. Not that kind of
Let's not
overacting.
even
Like
talk
this
about
was
that.
like good overacting.
But yeah, he's this berserk tow truck driver, and he has a for some reason they don't explain it in the film, which is
He has a
alright.
robot leg. Is that an ode to the first one? I don't recall anything
I don't remember
like
any
that.
characters that had that issue with themselves in it, but he has like a gas powered leg or remote control powered leg, right? That
Yeah.
if you fuck around with the remote, it'll make him do a jig or something.
Why the hell does he have a remote for his leg?
I have no clue.
Like, have you ever seen anything like that? And he has like 3 of them too. Remember?
I mean, I like that in the film, that it's something that's a little weird in the film that they don't have to explain it. Like maybe
It's definitely like
they don't
makes
have health
for a
insurance. So
Funny
that's why they have
scene
to,
later on though.
they don't have health insurance, so that's why they have to do shit like that. So that's why
Right,
it's pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, that's true. He probably like built it himself or something.
So I mean that's interesting, but I think he steals the show in the film. And Renee Zellweger is kind of sleepwalking, and her acting is all over the fucking place. The director.
Oh, and then actually, this is like the worst acting and the stupidest character, but like it's so funny. The other bad guy, the one that holds Barry at gunpoint, he's
the guy
like,
who does all the fucking quotes.
yeah,
Shakespeare
he's like.
and-
He just reminds me of like I don't know, like he's so stupid. He just he's so
Yeah,
pointless.
it's really bad.
He just
'Cause they're
says like
trying
a
to-
witty quote, and that's it. Like he
I
has
think
no
the director
purpose.
was trying to make characters as recognizable as the other films. I didn't watch any other movies, but I know there's a Chop Top and Flippity Doo or whatever the fucking.
I like the
characters are.
relationship between Vilmer and Darla, right?
Yeah, because she cares about him and he was cutting himself.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you
yeah,
think-
he like totally
think-
like beats the shit out of her,
You
but
think
she's
Demi
like total
Lovato?
fool.
You think Demi Lovato watched this film and then she began to cut herself?
This is-
She's so hot, but she cuts herself. Oh man. Anyway, so don't cut yourself, kids. It's pretty. Let Danny.
Don't cut yourself. It's bad.
But yeah, so we have.
Cutting yourself's bad. Okay.
Bad. It's easy, Macaulay. But yeah, so these two characters are probably the ones that are most memorable in this film. But the most memorable.
And they're the only ones that ever went on to do anything. So how about that?
No, I meant Leatherface and what's his face. And,
Oh, you don't think Renee Zellweger's a little memorable? Come on.
Because it's Renee Zellweger. If it was some other girl, you wouldn't know who the fuck she is.
No, she definitely stood out way more than the other girl.
She was very cute in this movie.
Heather, supposedly, you know, the stupid blonde. I think I was reading her
She was
IMDb.
brunette,
She was
wasn't
in Sin City. I have no idea exactly who. I'm assuming a prostitute.
Was she like picking up garbage or something? Anyway,
She's probably one of the prostitutes.
but
and,
what
like,
I will go to, I saw this film years and years ago. I only saw the ending of it, and this film. The last 10 minutes of the film.
hilarious.
Oh wait a minute, we skipped over a whole thing. There's this whole subplot of a shadow corporation funding.
This is why I think it's the predecessor to Martyrs.
I think. Well, yeah, you know what? Okay, now I get what you're saying, and I think that is actually kind of brilliant. Now I'm not gonna say this movie is brilliant, but I think that's pretty awesome. They put something behind that, and
Yeah.
it's kind of shadowy and weird. But just
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
just that the
it's
movie's
They don't really make the most of it, but it's a cool idea.
Yeah, the movie's so poorly executed that it doesn't convey it as well. And there's this weird guy with the weirdest hairstyle I've ever seen in a movie.
Who's
And
that?
The rich guy in the black suit.
Oh, the one that has the piercings and weird tattoos on his
Yeah,
chest.
he's doing some weird shit. Like he opens up his shirt and he has nipples on the.
And then he's licking Renee Zellweger.
I don't think
I was
Renee
kind of getting turned on.
I don't think Renee Zellweger knew that was gonna happen in the movie because if you
I was totally like actually getting a little
His-
turned on,
what-
picturing myself licking her like that.
was the makeup wrong or licking him? Was the makeup
No,
wrong
licking
or
her.
were the nipples on his stomach or something? Because
Yeah, that wasn't so nice.
he had this weird tribal scarring on his chest and he had 3 nipples, right? And 3 rings or some shit like that.
I don't know what the hell that was. It was weird.
And
It
it's
was
just to hear Renee Zellweger's like reaction to him, and the scene is so fucking funny because she genuinely sounds disgusted. Like
she's she's like one of those faces that you can't not laugh at, you know?
yeah, because she looks,
She's like a born comedian. Like no matter what she does, she always looks funny.
she has a goofy, cartoonish face.
Yeah, right.
And
like
there-
I think me, myself, and Irene, like I like fell in love with her when I watched that movie.
And
And I don't really know any of her other stuff. Like I've only seen her in like a few things.
Darla was trying to give these weird, paranoid, fucking theories to her that the FBI is watching them, and
She has a thing in her brain that will explode or some shit. Like
yeah,
she's kind of funny. I kind of like her. You know what? This movie's actually better than I thought. Like talking about it right now is making me like it.
yeah. As long as we don't have to watch it, this fucking movie.
No, but you know what? Like I don't know. Like this is like I might actually voluntarily watch this movie. I've had a total turnaround since starting this review. Because
Fuck
there's
you.
a lot of good scenes in it. Like it's an awful movie. I'm not even going
really
to
is a
deny
bad
that,
movie.
but it's like on level with like Strangeland or something.
I don't even know if it's that good. Hey, check this out.
What are you gonna do? Oh God, what are you doing? Oh no! Oh God! Oh no!
I'm telling you, I don't think she knew that was gonna happen in the movie, but he's licking the shit out of her face. Anyway,
It's awesome.
let me go on to the ending of the film. The ending of the film. This is the first thing that I saw. Also, Leatherface cross dresses throughout the whole movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
he's not wearing like his butcher's outfit. He's wearing.
He's got this
clothes.
crazy funny
Crazy funny what?
thing, the Ed Gein mask.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The first time I saw this movie, I only saw the last 15 minutes of the film, which has the Wilmer character running outside screaming, Wilmer, get that bitch now, and he chases or whatever. I tell you this, it's the greatest 15 minutes of absurd shit I've ever seen in a movie in my life. I've seen a lot of absurd movies, and I give them all like The Happiness of the Katakuris. That's a good movie. That's done by Takashi Miike. Waking Life has a lot of cool visuals, although I wouldn't sit through that fucking movie again.
That movie is so pretentious.
It is.
No offense to anyone, but really.
What are we talking about? George Zimmerman and shit. So this movie has the
I
most
don't care
surreal.
about that. That's not offensive.
This movie
Insulting
has-
Waking Life is more offensive.
This movie has the most surreal ending because she leaves the house and it's approaching dawn, and while she's running, it's already daylight. They start playing the song. The song's a bad, like, hippie kind of indie song, but I ended up liking it. It's by the Coffee Sergeants. It's called Blue Moon at Dawn. And I tell everybody watching this, don't watch the first hour and 20 minutes of this movie. Watch the last 10 minutes of this film, and you'll understand what this. I mean, you'll get the best part of the film.
Right.
Because never have I seen a movie that started so horribly end up amazing. Because she's running off a what is that? What kind of was it? A driving home? What the fuck is that called?
It was a trailer.
It was a mobile home.
Yeah.
Driven by this elderly couple, by Mr. Spottish and Mrs. Spottish, and I know how it is because she's like, the wife is like, another tea, Mr. Spottish? Oh, thank you, and he takes it.
I like when he's like, "There's a monster chasing her."
There's a monster chasing her with a chainsaw. That part. And they let Renee Zellweger get inside, and Wilmer is with his tow truck while there's like a whole chase scene at the end with Chainsaw Man, Leatherface swinging his chainsaw at the mobile home, and the mobile home flips over some tree stumps, and I guess the old two people are fucking dead, and Renee Zellweger gets out. But I tell you this, I've never seen anybody die like this in a film in my life.
With the helicopter.
I've never. What movie did you see?
Sorry. The airplane.
Was it a biplane or something like that?
It was like one of those little like crop
duster kind of plane. So, what's his face? Wilmer starts running after Renee Zellweger, and you see this yellow plane, a small like crop duster plane, flying low. He turns around, and the plane flies into him and knocks his face off with the propeller. I've never seen that in a movie. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen a bad guy die like that in a film.
And then you see like he doesn't have blood. He has like fluid coming out of his leg.
Yeah, because it's. What the fuck is that? Why did they kill him with a fucking airplane? Like, what the hell is
I don't know. And they never even really explain who the airplane. Like, I'm guessing it's that agency, but they don't say that.
Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, she gets in the limo and the guy drives her back, and then she's in the hospital at the end. She's talking to some sheriff, and then you see the original woman from the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She's inside of a hospital bed being taken to another room by the original guy who played Leatherface.
Was that?
Yeah. It was like a big.
Okay, I knew that was the girl, but I didn't know that was also Leatherface, the original.
But all in all, this is a fucking bad movie, man. It's bad. I mean, it's.
What's your rating?
It's
What's your rating?
This is a fucking 3 out of 10. 3 out of
3 out
5.
of 10. 3 out of 10 what? Come on, we got to go back to our rating system here.
This movie blew my mind that I forgot the rating system. It's a 3 out of 10 overweight man wearing women's clothing, and that's not even good enough for that, man. It's just a 3 out of 10 fucking guy with a robotic leg who gets it controlled by a shitty remote control.
Oh, come on, you just stole my fucking rating right there.
I'm keeping you on your toes. That's it. Go ahead. What's yours?
Wait, now I gotta think of a new rating. Talk about something funny for a second. Hold on.
So, Danny got into some stuff.
No, don't say nothing about me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking about saying. Don't say it. Okay, so I'm gonna give this movie... I'm gonna give it, because I know it's bad, it's horrible, but it's also pretty fucking funny. And the more I'm talking about, the more I like it. I'm gonna give it a 5.5
Wow.
out of 10. Yes, that's
Good
right.
for you.
It's over the 5 part. 5.5 out of 10. Damn it, you stole my fucking rating.
You had all that
5.5
time
out of 10. You know, girlfriend who has her boyfriend stepping on her throat, and then 2 seconds later is like loving and concerned about him cutting himself.
Wait, what happened to her? Remember she just started having an
Was the
epileptic...
part where she got lit on fire?
No, that was the other girl.
That got lit on fire. It was very...
Heather got lit on fire. That was hilarious because she got set on fire and then she runs into a wall of keys. That was pretty.
And then like 2 seconds later, she's like, "I'm not gonna get the smell out of my clothes."
Oh, I guess the keys were all their victims' keys. And then what happened to the girlfriend though? Because she just has like an epileptic seizure in the chair, right? Like nothing happens to her.
She gets her face cut off, doesn't she?
I don't know. I looked away. It's a bad movie. It's a
I
horrible
don't know.
movie.
I honestly, it was a little hard to follow, like because there's such bad editing and like
Yeah,
things
it's really
that
bad.
shouldn't
And
happen.
the guy who wrote and directed this is he's a professor.
He's an Asian man
No, no.
crossed with a woman.
He's a professor that talks about screenplay writing in school. So
Really?
Enjoy that
No,
class,
no,
kids.
you're thinking of Funny Games.
no, this is Kim Henkel. I just looked up his bio.
Oh, because that's funny. Because Funny Games guy. What we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Oh, really? Because what are we going to talk about next episode?
We're gonna talk about Funny Games.
What's the last word?
Fly.
Deconstruction.